I'm JD and welcome to my channel. We have a special treat for you today. If you want to get a hold of me at jdwatchservice@gmail.com. I have a vintage pocket watch here that was given to me by a gentleman named Murray. I don't use last names, but a gentleman named Murray. And his father received this watch, or was gifted this watch from his grandfather, who passed away in 1935, I believe. So this is a very old pocket watch. And so let's have a close-up look at this watch and see what kind of features it might have. So this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful pocket watch. It has a case lid here, the crystal, that swings open very nicely. I believe these hands are gold hands. And if you can look at the crystal here closely on this pocket watch, look how high that crystal goes up. It goes up an incredible height. I've never seen a high dome crystal of this type, and it's round, completely domed round. It also seems to have a focus dome in the center of it, so which would imply that you could be looking at a dial in the center through this focus dome somehow. So, but in this case, it serves no purpose for this watch, but it is interesting. So that's a focus dome on this watch. And now if I look at it from the side, I'm going to move this around like this and look at this from the side. It doesn't seem to be able to lock. This particular case does not want to lock the crystal. Maybe you just push it down, I'm not sure, but it doesn't lock. And if I flip this around, right on the side here, you can see that there is a very small cover, I think. And this cover hides a very small little button here. So I have to assume that this button does something, right? I'm not sure what it does, but it does something. And I just flip this right back. And if you're out there and listening to my video right now, and you can tell me what this is used for, then please give me the information. I flip this over and it's got a clear base, no decorations on the cover, on the back cover of this watch, right? And if I open up, see if I can snap this open here, but if I open up the cover of this watch, come on, get open there. I don't want to force anything on this watch. It's just so gorgeous, right? But let me get my watch opener here and see if I can just convince this cover to come up and have a look at what's inside. So look at that, and I think you just go inside here a bit, and then you just do that. And there we go. And if I look inside here, I've got a dust cover as well. On the back of this watch, you can see that it says ORG. First of all, it says 18K, so it's an 18 karat case. So there's 18K right there. And there's the 18K symbol. And on the top right here, it says ORG. I think it says ORG. I'm not sure. It's either ORG or ORC, one or the other. So that is very interesting. Those are the only marks I could find on this watch. So there's the 18 karat at a better angle, as you can see on this side here, and ORG. So the dust cover has an opening to wind the watch. I did try, and the mainspring is broken on this watch. So likely it's a Fusee watch. It's very old, but to open up the case here, you press on a very small button on the side here, and then the case just springs open. So there we go. Press on that, and the case springs open, but look what we have inside. Just a gorgeous movement. And I'm going to have to get a close-up on this movement because it's impeccable. So it says avance and retard, which is advance and slow down. And that's in the center there. Let me look at this, show you this here for a second. This here would regulate the watch's speed. This is where you wind the mainspring up, and I checked and see that that is not working right now. That is broken. So, and actually this spring here is not allowing it to tick, so that's not going down at all. You would take the movement out by sticking your screwdriver into these positions here and just rotating them. So they're not your traditional screw that you would use. Over here, it's got two symbols here. Let me see if I can see that. I'll turn this around so you can see it a bit better. but it's got two symbols here. One says T right there, and the other says L. So this might be how much reserve there's left on the mainspring. So as you wind this mainspring up, this could be a power reserve indicator. So this could be tight and loose. So this could mean tight and loose. As I look at the movement here, the balance is hidden under this very, very beautiful movement. I guess it's a protector or something for the balance, but there's a jewel on top here. So this would be the upper balance jewel with a cap on it. And there's a screw missing right here. I can see the screw is missing for this. So that's another problem that this watch has. There's a spring here. As I said earlier, this spring here is used to open the case back or hold it in place. And there's a spring back here that pushes up, and that's leaning against this joint here in the back where the case is. So that closes the case. So that's kind of what the movement has in it. As I moved it just a bit sideways here, I could see that the balance was actually free. So when I do that, it moves. So it's a good balance, which is, you know, impressive. So see if I can move that just briefly here, as you can see that. There we go, and it moves, and so it's intact. So I'm not sure whether it's worth taking this apart and trying to get it going again. This would be a project that could take months and months to do. It's a very, very old watch. I'm thinking early 1800s, maybe late 1700s for this watch, just on how it's made. Having the avance and retard on the watch here, which is over where the regulator would be, right here. Let me move that up again. Right here, right? That just tells me it could be French made, right? Because they would have used those terms. So it could be a very old French pocket watch. And it is 18 karat gold case, which is very interesting. So it's a good case. And to close this again, I'd press on that button. Actually, just pressing down closes it. I know the mainspring does not work on this. It's loose. And I don't want to have any problems with the cover on this watch at all. So this is the vintage pocket watch. If somebody could let me know what they think the year of this watch is. So now it's snapped in. I just snapped that in a bit. It just didn't take much pressure. But it is a gorgeous pocket watch. I think Murray's got quite a pocket watch here, and I think he needs to keep it stored. I don't think it's worth trying to repair this, and I would have to spend likely hundreds of hours repairing this watch. It wouldn't be worth our time, I'll say, to try to get this thing running again. If it were my watch, I might try to get this running as a project, but if it's someone else's watch, I would be very concerned about damaging it, and it is looking like it's in very good condition right now. So I'd keep this the way it is. It's an old pocket watch, and getting it working again is a project that someone would who owned the watch would take, and not someone who's servicing the watch. So this would likely cost thousands of dollars to actually repair, and a lot of time. And Murray's a friend, so I want to make sure that he keeps his $1,000 and effectively stores this watch. So if somebody knows what the vintage of this watch is, please let me know. So once again, this is a very interesting watch. I tried to look it up on, I tried to Google this watch to see if I could find a similar movement in there, which would give me an indication of what this watch might be and what its year of manufacturing was and its location of manufacturing. But I couldn't find anything. I believe it's a Fusee watch, and a Fusee watch is a watch with a chain that spirals, and the chain spirals through. It's like a bicycle spoke chain. So as the mainspring gets weaker, the chain rides a different spoke, which allows the tension from the mainspring to remain consistent or constant. So it's a very interesting design, and this is no doubt a Fusee pocket watch, likely from France. So thanks for watching this video. It's a quick one and a quick review of this watch. And again, I likely will not try to repair this watch, as it would take hours and hours and hours to try to get this thing going again, I'm sure. And it's so old, there's no way I'm going to get parts for it, which means I'd have to make parts for it. It's a time killer, I'd call it. Pardon the humor.